The African football world was shocked today when news broke that Mamelodi Sundowns coach Pitso Mosimane would leave and join Ahly on a 2-year deal. This move obviously has huge implications on all of African football, especially for the Egyptian Premier League and the PSL. I'm joined by South African journalist Shane Matsoyane, previously of Soccer Laduma and Far Post, to talk about the South African impact, and also by Egyptian journalist of Bain Sports, Nageeb Fahmy, who will talk about the implications for Ahly and Egyptian football. So we'll start with Sundowns. Shane, they've won the league for 3 straight years. They're just coming off a treble, and now their coach is leaving. It's fair to say Pitso was probably the best manager in Africa, and now he's gone. What does this mean for Sundowns?
Hi, Malek, and thank you very much for having me. Sundowns, Pitso, Mamelodi Sundowns losing Pitso Mosimane. It's really going to disturb Mamelodi Sundowns. I think, when Mamelodi Sundowns signed Pitso Mosimane back in 2012, they signed him from our national team, Bafana. From then, Sundowns, I would say they took 5 steps forward because now you are gaining a coach who was exposed to playing continental football, a coach who knows how it feels like to play the FIFA World Cup. Now, losing a coach like Pitso Mosimane, I would say Sundowns has now taken 10 steps back because now they're going to have to start from scratch. With all due respect to their assistant coach, there was also Rulani Mukwena, which I hear that is also leaving to join Ahly with Pitso. With all due respect to Coach Mangoba, I think the departure of Pitso Mosimane has raised the bar so high at the Mamelodi Sundowns that any coach who's going to come in there now and try and fill in those shoes is going to have a lot of work to do. He's going to have a lot of work to do because this is a team, Mamelodi Sundowns, that used to sign about 8 or even 10 players a season in every transfer window. Now to signing only what they need. Mamelodi Sundowns now could afford to sign only 1 player or even 2 where they need. But now I feel like maybe they are going to that phase of signing what they don't need because that man who knew what he was doing at Mamelodi Sundowns is no more. But it's a sad loss for Sundowns. It's a sad loss. I'm really interested to see how their president, Mr. Patrice Motsepe, is going to try and fill in the void that has been left by Coach Pitso.
Yeah, so he's accepted his departure, but I feel like a lot of fans were hoping to see him continue his journey with Sundowns and lead them to a Champions League trophy, but I guess that won't happen. But Shane, I want to ask you, what does this mean for the rest of the PSL and their competing teams?
Since Coach Pitso Mosimane joined Sundowns in 2012, he's won 5 Premier League titles. He's won 2 FA Cups. He's won 2 League Cups. The only cup that Coach Pitso Mosimane hasn't won is there's a cup that we call the MTN 8, where only the top 8 teams that qualify like the previous season, they get to play the top 8 the following season. That's the only cup that Coach Pitso Mosimane has never won with Mamelodi Sundowns. Otherwise, he won the cup previously with SuperSport United before he joined Bafana. So for South African football, it's a loss. You can't just replace a coach like Pitso Mosimane. And in fact, you don't get coaches like Pitso Mosimane now and again. They only come once in a lifetime because he is the greatest coach to has ever coached in South African football, with 5 Premier League titles, with the CAF Champions League title, with the CAF Super Cup. He's played at the FIFA Club World Cup. No team has ever played in the FIFA Club World Cup in South Africa except Mamelodi Sundowns, and they were coached by Pitso Mosimane. So now you are losing a coach who has shown South African football that it is possible to go out there and play in the CAF Champions League. It is possible to go out there and play in a FIFA Club World Cup. Now you are losing such a coach, and you are losing to a team that you are competing with. On the continental level, which is Ahly, of which is a great gain for Ahly, but for Mamelodi Sundowns, it's a very, very, very bad loss.
Yeah. So you're a Pirates fan. Are you happy by this move? Do you think it will open up the title race?
For me personally, with rivalry aside and banter aside, For me, this news, I'm really excited. I'm really excited because Orlando Pirates came close to winning the league in the last 2 seasons. But because of Pitso Mosimane's experience, we couldn't win the league title. We just got our new coach, Joseph Zimbabwe, just a couple of months ago. And he finished the season. He got us from ninth place to finish third, of which he helped us because next season we'll be playing the CAF Confederations Cup. Now you've got Kaiser Chiefs, who has just signed a new coach in Gavin Hunt. Now that's an advantage to Orlando Pirates because you've got a coach who's just joined your rivals, of which you will need some time to settle. You've got an unsettled Mamelodi Sundowns. Now you're a coach who's been there for a couple of months. So I think for Orlando Pirates, this is good news for us as Orlando Pirates. But we'll have to wait and see because I don't want to take anything away from Coach Mamelodi. I'm hoping he will do good. But at this point in time, I'm really excited that Pitso is gone.
Well, he'll be a great loss for Sundowns and for all of South African football. But we'll transition over to Egypt and Ahly. What does this mean for Ahly? They've won the league 5 straight times, but they haven't won the Champions League in 7 years. So hopefully this move will be able to get them closer to that. Do you think it will?
I definitely think yes, because since this board has taken over at Ahly, they made the promise that they are going to win the Champions League and to regain the African throne again. But over the past few years, we have seen that Ahly coming close to winning the title, but losing 2 finals, falling in the last meters in 2017 to Wydad of Casablanca and in 2018 to Esperance of Tunisia. So I think with the experience that Pitso Mosimane has, yes, he can take Ahly a little bit closer to clinching the title that they have been chasing for 7 years now. And looking to the formula of the competition this year, it's only like 3 matches and you are continental champion. So it's possible, yes. It's really appealing to any coach, especially when it's with someone like Pitso Mosimane who knows everything about Ahly. They have just met in the quarterfinals this year, and even last year in the quarterfinals when Sundowns trashed the Cairo Giants by 5-0. So he knows everything about this group of players, this generation of Ahly players. He knows about the pressure, the media expectations, everything. And also he knows Wydad of Casablanca very well, the Ahly's opposition in the CAF Champions League semifinals. I think the Sundowns and Wydad, they faced each other like 3 or 4 times over the past few seasons. So I think choosing Pitso Mosimane was definitely the right decision for this stage, and the Ahly board did just well to go for this man.
Yeah, I don't think it was a hard choice for them. You know, arguably the greatest manager in Africa coming to the greatest club in Africa is a great formula. So hopefully that will yield a lot of success.
Yes, and it's a brave choice, by the way, because it's the first time that Ahly is putting all their money on an African coach from outside Egypt. Ahly always used to hire European coaches, not even from South America, but only European coaches when it comes to foreigners. And this time to hire an African coach from outside Egypt, I think is a brave choice because it's the first time a top side from Egypt does that. We have seen that Misr al-Maqassa, they hired Emmanuel Amunike, but they are not a top side in Egypt. They are not Ahly or Zamalek, you know. So this is totally a new era. And I think if Pitso succeeds in Egypt, he will be opening the door to other African coaches who can come here to the north part of the continent in general and show their abilities. We have a lot of very talented coaches in Africa who really proved themselves over the past few seasons. We can talk about Flora Nibangi with the DR Congo national team, and even with the Vita Club, Mihayo Kazembe, Ndai, who won the Champions League before with TP Mazembe, and now he's with Horea in Guinea. So I think this will mark a new era for African football to exchange experience between the different parts of the continent.
I hope so. It sounds like a great thing for African football. I want to talk about one player who played with Pitso and might move with him to Ahly, and that is Gaston Sirino. Shane, what can you tell us about him? One of the most highly regarded players on the continent, despite him being a foreigner from South America. What does he bring to Sundowns, and do you think he could move to Ahly?
I wish that you could hear South African fans when they talk about Gaston Sirino. I mean, this is a player that I regard as being too good to be playing in the Premier Soccer League. Gaston Sirino is a very, very, very good player. He's creative, a player that he shares the ball with his teammates. I mean, Mamelodi Sundowns, I would say 60, if not 70% of Mamelodi Sundowns goals this season, they came through via Gaston Sirino. Despite having 4 assists in the league, only in the league, he had about 17 assists in all competition this season, which includes the CAF Champions League and also in some other domestic cups here in the Premier Soccer League. Having Gaston Sirino moving to North Africa to play for Ahly. I think Ahly, they are getting themselves a gem there. Gaston Sirino is one of the greatest players that I've ever seen. Greatest foreign players to have ever played for Mamelodi Sundowns. He's been playing alongside Themba Zwane. I've seen him playing alongside players like your Kama Billiard, players like your Percy Tau, and they formed a deadly combination. It's a pity that he wasn't there when Sundowns won the CAF Champions League in 2017. He only joined the following season, of which was in 2017. And since then, Gaston has been an amazing player. He's an amazing player. Pitso Mosimane, he knows Gaston Sirino. No one knows Gaston Sirino better than Coach Pitso Mosimane. I think Ahly have gotten themselves jackpot. They've won themselves a jackpot. If they do sign him, they've gotten themselves a very, very good player.
What do you think? We've seen the departure of Ramadan Sobhi to Pyramids. Do you think you would replace him? Do you think he would fit into the team?
I think definitely he would be a great addition to any side in Egypt. Most of course, Ahly is one of them. And the creation or the creativity zone in the classic number 10 position in Ahly really lacks quality at the moment because, okay, they signed Afsha, he's an Egyptian international, but he has been very inconsistent. Ahly is okay, he's strong on both wings, on the right, on the left, but they need someone to create more chances, a classic playmaker, and I think Sirino fits this criteria. He is a typical Latin American playmaker. He comes from Uruguay. He knows how to give a through ball, how to trick the defenders. So I think he would be a great addition, and hopefully Ahly can sign him because I think he will be also he will add more value to the Egyptian Premier League as a whole.
All right. Well, that concludes this episode. Thank you very much, Shane. Thank you, for joining us. Please like and subscribe and leave a comment.